Hello, Boys and Girls Club. If any of my members watch this, I just want to say hello and that I miss you all very much. And I hope during this time of being out of school, you're taking care of yourselves and you're doing things that are good for your mind and body, as well as having fun too, right? And just relaxing. So today I'm here on the video because I wanted to show you a couple different yoga poses. So I know throughout the semester at Carbondale Middle School, where I work for Boys and Girls Club, we've done a lot of different yoga things, especially during Smart Girls. We've done a lot of yoga. But for some of my members, may have never heard of the word yoga or even practiced yoga before. So first of all, I just wanted to take a second to end any myths and kind of just set the record straight of what yoga is and who yoga is for. So yoga is an ancient practice that has been around a very long time. It originated and came from India, and it was passed down to the West after, it was colonized and things like that. So yoga has been a practice that has helped people connect to themselves a very long time. It is a really good practice for mental clarity, to help us feel less stressed, to help us feel more calm and aware. It helps us have a better connection with who we are and the world around us, right? And so this word yoga literally is translated from Sanskrit, which is a language that came again from India, and it just means union. So the word yoga means union. So it's a union of our breath, our body, and our spirit. So spirit is different to everybody, depending on your religion, your spirituality. But spirit in yoga is kind of just like this all-knowing thing. We all have spirit. Everything has spirit in us, right? So in yoga, we're connecting our breath with our body movements and our spirit, which is this energy that's flowing inside of us, right? So to bust out a couple myths, yoga is not only for girls, yoga is also for boys. There's actually a lot of famous athletes who are males that practice yoga every day. I'm not going to name them because y'all know me, I'm really bad at sports players, but you can look them up on the internet and you can see that they really believe in yoga and the benefits that it has, not only physically but mentally. There's also a lot of famous musicians, actors, actresses that also practice yoga to help them in their careers and to benefit themselves. So if you think yoga isn't cool or it's not for everybody, then just go online and look up how many different people practice yoga, and that may convince you a little more to maybe try the practice. But if you are here with me today and you are ready to practice, we're going to get started. All you really need is to have a blanket, a yoga mat. So you can see here that Miss Kennedy has some of her favorite things. She has a blanket laid down right here and have this laid on top of a yoga mat. I'm not expecting everyone to have a yoga mat, so if you have a carpet, you can see underneath the blanket I have a carpet. You can use a carpet, or if you just have blankets or towels, just take a blanket or a towel and just take it out nice and long on the comfiest part of your house or wherever you are. So you want to be at the comfiest place in your home or wherever it is you reside. And then you want to take a blanket, a towel, or if you do have some kind of mat, you can lay it out nice and long. And then I also brought some of my favorite things, plants. I love plants. My stuffed animals. I love my stuffed animals. One of my students from Kids Corner, Trey, actually got this for me. And then I have some of my rocks and crystals, just things that I like. And then I also have some pretty artwork in the background. So if you have anything that you want to bring to practice, maybe a picture or an object, you can kind of have that near you in your space, so you can also bring some fresh energy into those items. And with that being said, we're going to get started. So with yoga, again, we have this union of breath and body and spirit. We're just going to start to flow through some different postures. So Again, I said that yoga is translated from Sanskrit, so this is a different language than English. So in English, we call it yoga or yog, and this is translated from the word union. Well, we also have what we call postures in yoga, and this is also translated from Sanskrit, and the word for postures is asana. So we're going to come into some different asanas, different postures. We're also going to do some breathing exercises. So breathing exercise is translated from the word pranayama. So this is one of my favorite words in yoga. We have our prana, which is our life force energy. So our breath, hopefully we're all breathing, whether we notice it or not, is what keeps us alive. So pranayama is life force energy. So today we're going to be practicing a breathing exercise, and we're going to be practicing a couple postures or asanas. And then the last thing we're going to do is come into a meditation. So meditation can be different for everybody, and there's a lot of different ways to practice meditation. I like to think of meditation as keeping your mind focused on one thing at a time. So throughout the day, we have this internal dialogue inside of our minds, and most of the time it's talking to us, processing so much different information, whatever it may be. In the meditation practice, we try to focus the mind on one thing at a time, whether that be the breath, relaxation, no movement. So we'll talk about all of that at the end of practice, but we're going to start with our breathing exercise. So either coming to your towel, blanket, mat, we're just going to have a comfortable seat, okay? So you see I'm sitting on my knees here. This is one option to sit. You can also take a pillow and just come to sit on the pillow and come into a crisscross seat. So coming again to sit on the knees or coming into a crisscross seat would be two really good options to come into this seated pose. So you can see that I aligned one of my ankles in front of the other. You don't have to do that. You can just sit traditionally here in crisscross, and this is how I'll show it. And then you want to think about your spine and the alignment you have throughout the body here. So there's a tendency to slouch. Oh, I'm so tired. I can't lie to you all. Since Miss Kennedy has been out of work, she's been slouching a lot. She's been on her phone, on her Netflix. I've actually took up gaming again. So my posture has really been suffering. So I want you all to think about how it feels to sit up nice and tall, just really, really tall. And then think about how it feels to slouch. So again, nice and tall, and then slouching. And for this practice, we're going to try to stay nice and tall. So the way I like to think of it is my shoulders are away from my ears. They're drawing down and back. My spine is long. My heart is open. And I have my chin over my chest and my chest over my pelvis, right? So this is the alignment we want to have when we come into this seated pose. In Sanskrit, we call it Sukhasana. As we're seated here, we can start to take any movement with the hands that feel good. So whether that's bringing them together in a prayer, maybe we take the pointer to the thumb and we place it on the knees. Maybe we just let the hands fall. Whatever feels comfortable, taking your hands like that. Anything we do with the hands in yoga is called a mudra. Okay, so taking any mudra you like, I'm going to keep with the thumbs on the pointer and just resting them on my knees. And then just again, be aware of the alignment throughout your spine and try not to dump into your lower back. Stay nice and tall. And then we're just going to start to notice our breath. So thinking about our breath as a voluntary and involuntary action. So what I mean by that is we're always breathing, whether we're thinking about it or not. But we can also start to notice the breath and control or deepen or manipulate the breath for our benefit. So as you start to notice the breath, just start to take a couple deep breaths. So whatever that is to you, no pressure for it to be any certain way. Just take a deep breath in through the nose and let the breath out of the nose or out of the mouth. So you notice as I breathe here, you can see my belly moving in and out. You can see my shoulders coming up and down, my diaphragm and lungs working and moving. So just start to notice how the breath feels in the body. We're going to take a couple minutes here to just get in touch with our breath and notice how it feels to just be still and just breathe. So right away, you may notice that your mind, that inner dialogue I was talking about, it may be chattering here. So it's normal and natural for the mind to be talking to you when you're practicing. We're just going to do our best, though, to guide that thoughts, all those thoughts we have, guide them to the breath. So what I mean by this is when my mind starts to talk to me, most of the time mine is talking about food. I just try to guide that thought back to the breath by inhaling in. And I think breathe, exhale out. I think breathe. So we're going to practice that for about 30 seconds here, just breathing and noticing where the mind goes and trying to guide the thoughts back to the breath. Try to soften the body now. So if you feel like you're holding tension anywhere or you feel like the body is tight, just try to relax the body. Permission to just start to let go of any stress. Anything that's weighing heavy on you, just leave it behind now, focusing on the breath and relaxation. And throughout these next 30 minutes, 20 minutes of practice, just doing your best to give yourself full permission to relax and breathe and just be in this moment. You are all so worthy of relaxation. You are so worthy to have a stress-free life. And you are so worthy to have this deeper connection with yourself. We're going to take 3 more big breaths together. Inhale deeply into the nose, fill the belly with air. Exhale, sigh it out of the mouth or nose. Again, inhale in. Sigh it out of the nose or mouth. One more big breath. Let it go. We're just going to start with some slow movement. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale in. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. And then just start to go back and forth, taking these small circles. And then start to make an even smaller circle with the chin, but taking the circle nice and full out like you're tracing maybe a small dinner plate. And then we can start to make those circles wider as we stretch through the neck and shoulders, making sure you're continuing to breathe. So throughout the practice, as we go through these poses, you might have the tendency to hold your breath, but just keep trying to take that fluid movement of breath throughout the body. Start to rotate the circle the opposite way. You may hear some cracking or some popping in your neck, something that sounds like fireworks. This is all natural and normal here. You're just relieving pressure from your joints, your bones, your muscles. And take a couple seconds to maybe enjoy this, or maybe you're just like, man, this Kennedy, I want to give up. Just hang with it, okay? A couple more circles. And we're going to come back to center. We're going to take the hands, the fingers to the shoulders, okay? Then we're going to inhale, scoop the elbows together. Exhale, open the elbows nice and wide. Again, inhale, scoop the elbows together in front of you. Exhale behind you, nice and wide, almost like we're a bird flapping here. If you feel silly, you can laugh. It's okay. Important to stretch through the shoulders, stretch through the muscles here. You can notice I'm continuing to breathe as I take these circles. One more. Keep it nice and wide. Rotate the opposite way. Inhale in. Exhale, open. One more time. Exhale, drop the hands in front of you. Inhale, scoop both thumbs up, reach for the sky. Exhale, push the hands away from the body, float them down. 2 more times. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands push away from you. 1 more time on your own. Beautiful. Take those hands back up. This time, take the right hand to the left knee, a little yoga for the brain. Keep that left arm long. And then exhale, take the left fingertips behind you. So you're going to push into the fingertips. I'm going to show you how it looks from the side. I'm pushing into my fingertips behind me. I'm going to come off my pillow for a minute. And I'm just twisting. So you can see in my shoulders and spine how I'm twisting. I'm looking over my left shoulder if I want to go deeper. And I'm just breathing in my spine. So I'm not dumping in my spine. So this is what it looks like to dump and twist. And this is what it looks like to stay nice and tall in the pose and to twist and look over your shoulder. If you're ever feeling any pain, any sharp shooting pain, just come out of the pose slightly. There's no need to make yourself feel any pain. In the yoga practice, we're working on sitting with that uncomfortability, but never experiencing any sharp shooting pain. Exhale back to center. Inhale, take the arms up again. Exhale, left hand to right knee now. Right fingertips behind. Push into those right fingertips. Pull on that knee. Look over the right shoulder for about 3 big breaths. One more big inhale. Exhale back to center. I'm going to turn back to facial. We're going to come into our next pose. We're going to take the feet together and we're going to take a little space between them so you can take them out in front of you or keep them more in. This will depend on how open your hips are. So, oh, my little monkey is falling. So, what was I saying? So that happens in the yoga practice. Sometimes the mind gets lost, and again, we come back to center with the breath in the pose. So this is called, in Sanskrit, it's a big word, Baddha Konasana, but in English, you've probably heard it, the butterfly pose. We call it cobbler's pose. You can call it whatever you want. Just really, really good stretch for the hips and the low back. We're just going to take the hands maybe to the thighs, maybe to the ankles, maybe to the feet. If you want, you can get yourself a nice foot massage. So massaging those toes. If they're cold, warming them up. Maybe massaging the heels. And then on a big exhale, you're just going to start to lead with the heart. So your heart space is right here. Start to fold over. So you may feel this pulling in the hip now. Again, we don't want any sharp shooting pain. There may be a little uncomfortableness. Just breathe into that uncomfortableness. Breathe through any of that tightness in the hips. And then exhale to start to drop the head down. We can use the elbows and the knees. We can rock here. Just really find whatever feels good for you. And take 5 deep breaths. That's 10. Just Miss Karen, you know how to count. 5 deep breaths in and out here. So you count them yourself. I'm going to do it here with you. So just keep breathing here. Keep folding over on an exhale, deepening into the pose. Don't be afraid of your breath. Do not be afraid to breathe here. Try to become comfortable with the sound of your breath, knowing that it's normal and natural to feel a little bit of weirdness when breathing deeply. Just try to let that go as you think about the sensations and the muscles in the body here. One more big breath in. Tuck your chin into your chest, slowly roll it up like a new person coming to life, vertebrae by vertebrae, until your shoulders draw down and back. And then we're just going to push both of our feet out here. I'm going to scoot back a little bit so you can see my feet. Again, you can be sitting on a blanket or a block, or a pillow, I mean. And then you just want to bend the knees here. So the shoulders come down and back, hands come to hip. Toes are pointed towards the sky, knees are nice and bent. So I'm going to come to the side so you can see my posture a little bit better. But you come wherever you're comfortable. And then bend the knees. You can see I'm pointing my toes back. I'm not letting my shoulders slouch. I'm not rounding over in the belly. Monkey's going to come over here. Shoulders down and back. And then we're just going to rotate the ankles, wiggle the toes. You may hear my ankles cracking or popping. This is why it's so important for you, as being a younger person, to start taking care of your body now. So that way when you're older, like Miss Kennedy, your bones do not crack and hurt as much. Do that a couple more times. And then point the toes back, bend the knees here. Shoulders down and back. Look towards the feet. We're going to inhale, scoop the hands up, nice and tall, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, lead with the heart as you fold forward. You do not have to touch the toes. You may touch the ankles, the calves. Maybe you touch the feet or toes. It's okay. And then just round the head, neck, and shoulders over and breathe here. If you want to, you can straighten the legs a little more if you're a little more flexy. If you need that deep bend, just keep it there. And again, we're going to take 5 big breaths here. So I'm trying to lean with the heart, and then I'm folding over with the head. So we're drawing back through the shoulders and forward through the heart. 3 more big breaths. You can pull the toes back to go deeper, straighten the legs to go deeper. One more big inhale in. Exhale, tuck chin to the chest. Slowly roll it all the way up, down, and back. Realign the spine. Hands come to the thighs. Set up nice and tall. Look in front of you. Notice where the mind is. Kick the feet to one side, and we're going to start to transition to hands and knees, but first we're going to stretch out the wrists a little bit. So I'm just going to come onto my knees first. I'm going to move that pillow out of the way, and I'm just going to stay nice and tall on my knees, and I'm going to take my arms out in front of me, making sure my shoulders are relaxed down from my ears, making sure that I'm drawing up through the front body and down through the back body. Pull those fingertips back, a little thriller arm. Tap back into the breath. That's that mind wandering. Exhale, talk to the hand or stop in the name of love, depending how sassy you are. I know most of my members have quite a bit of sass. Thriller, inhale. Talk to the hand or stop in the name of love. Make the fingers into a fist. Rotate, rotate, rotate the hands. Again, you may hear some cracking or popping. And then we're going to come to bring the knees directly underneath the hip points. Backs of the feet can be flat or curled, your choice. And I'm going to take the hands right underneath my shoulders. So again, tabletop position. Fingertips are spread nice and wide like starfish. Eyes of the elbow are rotating in to face one another. We have a little bend in the elbow. I'm making sure that my body's not dumping, but a nice flat line with the back. I'm going to look between my hands, and I'm just going to breathe for a couple seconds here. take a second to test your alignment. You may have to move around a little bit, notice what feels good. Now we're going to drop into some cat-cows. So this is a pretty silly pose. So again, it's okay to laugh or feel weird, but it's really, really good for your back and your spine. So we're going to drop the belly down, look forward, draw the shoulders back. Inhale, think a cow. If you want to move, if you think that's lame, that's okay. Tuck chin to chest, arch the back high to the sky. So you notice this is a cat pose, exhaling, inhaling into cow, exhale into cat. Really, really good for your spine. Try not to worry about how you look. Rather think about how you feel. If you want to rotate the body, just do anything here that feels good for your muscles. We're going to do about 3 more of these. Use your breath to guide your movement. One more cow, one more cat. Awesome, then come back to tabletop position. Just make sure you're nice and stacked up here. I noticed my alignment was a little off. I need to fix it. And then take your eyes and look down at your knees. Take the knees a little bit wider than your hips or as wide as your mat. Big toes come to kiss. Star-crossed lovers, right? Sink the hips down and back. And then just come down to your forearms here. So we're coming into a child's pose, an extended child's pose. Really, really good for self-regulation, mental clarity, stress relief. Really good for opening up the hips and shoulders. So you may just stay here, or you may be able to melt the hips back more towards the heels. If you have a pillow, you may want to take it down here by your heels and just set your booty on that. And then you're going to either stay on the forearms, melting the head down here, or you can start to walk the arms out and just take the chest down, take the shoulders down. Wherever you're at, we're going to take 5 deep breaths in and out, long breaths, the biggest breaths you've taken all day, trying to really let that stress or any tension you're carrying, anything you're carrying in the body, just let it go here, relaxing the head down. Two more big breaths in and out. Try to exhale inside out of the mouth now. On your next exhale, look between the hands. Slowly push yourself back up to tabletop position. Remove the pillow or blanket if it was there. Take the feet to one side, and we're going to transition now onto our back. So we're going to do 2 more poses on our backs, and then we're going to meditate. If laying down isn't comfortable for you, you can do these postures seated and you can meditate seated, okay? But I encourage you, if laying down is comfortable, to go ahead and get a blankie, lay down on it here. We're gonna get nice and comfy. I'm gonna take my friend nearby. And also, if you do have pillows, just take them to the sides of you here. So I'm going to come to lay down. And I'm just going to make my body nice and long, as you can see here. Take this hair tie out, this scrunchie. This can go. Woo. And then I'm going to take my hands above head. And I'm going to point my fingers, point my toes, and just stretch your body as long as you can. This is called a full body stretch. So point the fingers away from the toes, bring the toes together, point the toes. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, one knee at a time. Take it up to your chest and interlace around the knees or behind the knees, grabbing the thighs. Just squeeze the knees in and just start to rock side to side. Take the knees in a circle. Anything that feels good for you, we're just going to do a nice little massage on the lower back here. Making sure you're continuing to breathe. Now we're just going to drop that left foot down. So just drop it down wherever it's comfortable and lift the right leg up. Interlace around the right thigh and just let blood flow the opposite way in the leg for just a minute here. Really, really good to let blood flow. You can have a deep bend. One more big breath. Now just switch it out. Bring that right heel and foot down. Lift the left leg up. Point the toes back towards your face for a couple breaths. Bend the knee as much as you need. And then again, hug both knees in towards the chest. We're going to take both arms out nice and long. We're going to inhale in. We're going to exhale, let the knees fall to the right. So this is where the pillow can come in handy. We can let the knees just fall on the pillow, keeping them in. And then our shoulders are nice and grounded and our arms are long. The chest is open. And then we can look over the left neck, or excuse me, the left shoulder to go deeper in the neck. 5 deep breaths in and out here, really breathing into your spine and your hips. One more big inhale. On the exhale, push into the hands. Use your core strength to draw the knees back up and in. Make sure the low body is flat on the ground. Inhale in. Exhale, take a pillow to the other side. Take the knees over to the left, making sure the knees stay together. They can rest on a pillow or the ground. And then just make sure the shoulders are nice and open. We can look over the right shoulder to go deeper in the neck. 5 deep breaths in and out here. Try to relax any part of the body you're holding on. Notice where the mind is. Just try to calm the thoughts, calm the body. On your next exhale, hug the knees back up and in. And just kick both the legs high to the sky, grabbing the thighs, pointing the toes back, rotating the ankles. Last pose before we meditate, gonna come into a happy baby. So a happy baby is pretty silly. You just take the knees out to the side and you're trying to grab the ankles or maybe grab the calves. You just want the knees to come down towards the armpits. You're going to feel this in the hips, and you want the ankles to stack on top of the knees. So you don't have to grab the feet and the toes. If you can, that may feel nice. Opening the hips for 5 more deep breaths in and out here. One more big breath in. Exhale, let the feet down with a thud. And then just take the knees left to right, windshield wipering them. And then you're just going to get ready for meditation. So again, if it's not comfortable on the back, we can just set up nice and tall, like how we started class to meditate. But if it is comfortable on the back, encouraging you to find a nice, comfortable place on the spine, taking the legs out nice and long, letting the feet grow heavy, the ankles and feet come to the side. We're going to take the hands also down by the side. Shoulders come away from the ears. Heart is nice and open. The palms can face up towards the sky or down towards the ground. And we're just going to get our wiggles out here. So just taking any movement that you need to get your wiggles out, maybe putting socks on, putting a blanket over you, covering the eyes. Maybe you want to leave the eyes open. Whatever feels comfortable, just taking a couple seconds to get those wiggles out. Then whenever we do feel like we've gotten those wiggles out, we're just going to grow nice and soft and still in the body. So we're going to relax every part of the body. So if you feel yourself holding on to anything, if you feel the muscles contracting, just try to soften them now. So starting with the toes, we're going to soften. The feet, we're softening. Relax and soften through the ankles, the legs, the hips. Relax the belly, taking a couple more huge belly breaths in and out, taking the belly inhale, exhale out, and then eventually softening through the belly, letting the breathing return to normal, softening through the chest and shoulders, letting the arms, wrists, fingers, and hands be heavy and still, taking little to no movement now. Lastly, relaxing through the throat, the head, and the face, letting the eyes be soft and the lips and tongue be soft. And just think about completely and fully relaxing your body. So imagine yourself floating maybe on a cloud or floating above the ground. That's how relaxed you are here. And again, notice where the mind is. It's okay if the thoughts are all over the place or if we want to quit the practice, but we're going to do our best to stay in this meditation pose for a couple minutes here. So as the mind wanders and the body has the urge to move, we're just going to breathe deeply. So the whole goal of this meditation here is to breathe deeply and relax the body. Knowing that I'll bring us out of meditation when the time is right. So your only job here is to fully, completely relax the mind, body, and spirit. Taking the next couple of moments to just be here now. Knowing that you don't have to do anything else, but just be here. If the mind is wandering, if you find yourself moving or twitching or fidgeting, try to be still. Try to tap into your breath. Use your breath. Gonna be here for one more minute. Start to deepen your breath, so take those deep belly breaths again. Inhale, let the belly rise and expand like a balloon. Exhale, let it fall. 3 of those just like that. Start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, bringing sensation back to the body. We're just going to roll the knees to one side, taking the head to one side, maybe taking the head into the arms, maybe covering the eyes with the other hand. Hugging those knees in. Just taking a couple more moments of deep breath to relax here. Grounding yourself in gratitude for showing up to practice here today. Thinking about a couple things that you can be grateful for. So gratitude is a really important tool. Some things I'm grateful for: my students, nature, yoga, animals, food. So just thinking about some things you're grateful for here. And if you find that there's nothing you can see to be grateful for, that's okay too. And then just thinking about one thing you're grateful for about yourself, or one thing you love about yourself. Just saying it in your mind or out loud. I love my personality. I love that I'm a good friend. I love that I'm creative. I love that I'm funny. Whatever it may be here, just think about things you love about yourself. Knowing that those are so true, and you all have so much to be grateful for about all of your awesome, unique selves. We'll take one more big breath here. Exhale, slowly start to come back up, back to life. And we're going to come back to a comfortable cross-legged seat, or whatever seat, again, is comfortable for you. Fix your hair, itch your nose like mine is itchy. Sit up nice and tall. Again, aligning the heart, aligning the spine. We're going to end class today with 3 more huge breaths, and we're going to sigh them out, and we're going to do 1 lion's breath. So a lion's breath is crazy. It's meant to be silly, look silly. It's meant to just relieve any anger and stress, right? So a lion's breath we're going to do after taking 3 big breaths and sighing them out. So bring the hands together at the heart, or place the hands on the heart. We're going to exhale for no reason. Inhale in. Exhale, sigh it out of the mouth, making any noises you like. Inhale in. Sigh it out. One more time, inhale in. Sigh it out. Maybe scare someone you're in the house with. And then we're going to do 1 lion's breath. So take the hands down to the mat, draw the fingers down and back. We're going to inhale in, and on an exhale, we're going to let the tongue hang loose like a lion. And we're just going to exhale everything out. So any anger or stress or fear or anxiety you have, we're just going to let it out now. Ready? So exhale for no reason. Inhale in. Exhale. Awesome. And you got to see Miss Kennedy look like a dork. So we're going to take the hands to the heart to end class. And we're going to do 1 Om chant together. So as you see behind me, this is the Om symbol. And it's something in yoga that represents unity, connectedness, this universal wholeness. So you can look a little bit more of that up online, or I can talk more about that in another video. But we're simply just going to chant or sing the words Om. So just like that. Om. So it doesn't have to sound any certain way, and you don't even have to join in. You can just listen to my voice here or join in whenever you feel called. We're going to take the hands together. Exhale again for no reason. Inhale in. We're going to take the hands together, bring the thumbs right between the eyebrows. So in Eastern philosophy, these are known as chakras. We have 7 energy systems throughout the body. This one representing our 3rd eye. Some of you may have heard of the 3rd eye. It's the place of our intuition, our connection to self, our power center of who we are. So with that, may we all see the truth, may we all speak the truth, and may we all always be our own truth. We bow the heads to the heart when we say namaste, which means I honor the oneness we share when we're living our truth and we're connected in our truths. So namaste to you. I honor the light within you. I see you. I miss you. I am you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. This is not only for my members at the Boys and Girls Club, my students, but also for teachers, educators, facilitators. Yoga is great for everybody. So I just really wanted to take the time to share this practice with you all because you're all so important to me. And I'm here for you, even if I can't be there for you in person. Just know that I'm thinking about you and I'm doing the best I can to provide resources for you. So watch this video again if you ever want to. If you want to learn more about yoga, just send questions to the Boys and Girls Club page and maybe I can put out another video. But until then, take care of yourself, mind, body, spirit. Namaste.